Don't look now, but Sea of Thieves is one of the most changed games this last year. While the launch of Sea of Thieves was met with hard criticism from gamers, I have to admit, most of those criticisms were well deserved. And this is coming from someone that has over 500 hours in Sea of Thieves and loved every single minute of it. Yet over the last year, Rare has added so much cool content and features to the game that it's ultimately a drastically different game than when it first launched. And Rare isn't done yet. This month, coming April 30th, will be the 1-year anniversary update that will add the most content the game has ever had. The developers themselves have said that this will be the biggest patch they've ever released to the game. This is after the Megalodon patch, the ghost ships, whole new lava area, and the shrouded spoils. With this new update, you could probably combine everything they released last year and still won't add up to the content coming at the end of April. And I wanted to inform everyone on what exactly is being added to the game and go into detail about every single aspect for it. Because no matter what anyone says, this game has been a huge success for Xbox and Rare, and it's one of the most entertaining games I've played in years. So in this video, you'll learn about Tall Tales, the new campaign-like experience, the new island, the arena, harpoons, expanded ship damage, new chest types, new skeleton types, skeleton lord bosses, cooking and food types, health regeneration, new trading companies, and of course, fishing. But before we get into all of this, if you like the video, please hit that like button and subscribe button. The support is greatly appreciated. So first, let's talk about this Tall Tales that is probably the biggest addition to the Sea of Thieves universe. These tales will be the closest thing to a campaign this game will ever have. These voyages will take you on an adventure to find a new island. I'm not sure where it's located, but I'm almost certain it will be by the Devil's Shroud. And you have to remember, this is still tied into the open world where other crews can still attack you, along with ghost ships, krakens, and of course sharks. As for the voyages themselves, they will have puzzles, traps, skeleton lords, new skeleton types, boss battles, and much more. And an example of the puzzle is you're in a closed off cave that keeps filling with water as you try to solve the puzzle before the room fills. The first campaign is called Shores of Gold, and it will consist of 9 different quests that will take players between 15 to 20 hours to complete. This is such a different mechanic to the game that I feel a lot of people will want to jump back into this world just to experience these Indiana Jones-like quests. This brings us to the next addition, which is new skeleton types. If you've played Sea of Thieves for any amount of time, you know that skeletons are the main source of combat if you minus the other players in the world. Skeletons are almost a part of every aspect of the game. And with this update, there will be a brand new type of skeleton who are a coral type. We don't know what their abilities are just yet, but I'm sure they will add a new wrinkle to the combat when you go against them. If you remember, there's the Shade Knight skeletons, and also the gold skeletons that you have to throw water on to kill, and the ones that have the leaves on them, where the guns are pretty much useless against them, and you have to use swords. Not to mention the regular ones that can take damage with guns and swords. So adding a new skeleton type really does shake up the combat within the game. And this piggybacks off of the next skeleton boss, which is skeleton lord bosses. Sea of Thieves usually has skeleton captains that take more damage and look unique compared to the other skeletons, but these skeleton lord bosses are going to be a much different experience than what we're used to seeing. These new bosses bring new abilities and moves that people that are veterans with the game might have trouble dealing with. Testers have already said that skeleton lords don't just swing a sword or shoot you, they actually have moves and abilities that you have to learn. And after they show these abilities, you have to figure out the best way to defeat them. This is something that's been missing from Sea of Thieves, having a great enemy type that might change every time you face them. I hope these skeleton lord bosses evolve as the updates evolve, because this can be an awesome new mechanic that really separates Sea of Thieves from what it was prior. Tie in the new Tall Tales, the new skeleton types, and you have a pretty awesome combination, but it doesn't end there. With all these new adventures comes a new island. The new island is a part of the Shores of Gold voyages, but it's the largest island Rare has ever made. Yes, it's bigger than Plunder Valley and Smuggler's Bay. There's rivers, tunnels, caves, and stuff even below the surface that you can explore. You'll be spending a lot of time here exploring and finding new things that will help you complete your voyages. This new island isn't placed in an easy to reach part of the map. You will have to sail beyond the Devil's Shroud, so expect to combat plenty of enemies just to reach the new area for these voyages. Having new areas to explore is always a fun time in Sea of Thieves, so this is one of the best additions for me personally, because when they added the new volcanoes and the new areas part of the map, it really expanded the world and brought completely new mechanics into the game. So I'm excited to see what new mechanics this new island brings, and also what new lore it has for us to explore. Not to mention, it's probably going to be crowded with a bunch of ships ready to ruin your day, so get ready for combat, and I love combat in this game. Now let's talk about probably the most popular addition to this update, which is the arena. If your love for this game comes from combating other players, then you're in luck, because there will be a completely separate game type that solely focuses on PvP combat. It's a new competitive mode that heightens the intensity of the Sea of Thieves combat. Players will be dropped into a small section of the map surrounded by the Devil's Shroud. In order to defeat players, you will need to gather silver, which happens with a silver point system. The way you earn silver is by gathering treasure, bringing chests to turn in points, and of course, attacking other ships and players. The best is obviously sinking other ships, which will reward you not only with points for sinking them, but also give you all the loot they may have had on their ship. Everyone in the game has the same voyages with the same map of where the treasures are, so this game type will encourage people to fight each other. And with this new game type comes a new faction to level up, who are the Sea Dogs. They will have new cosmetics and a bunch of other cool things to earn as you play the arena. Not to mention, if you're not a pirate legend, they are also part of the faction that you can level up, because you need 3 factions at max level to get pirate legend. Add this faction in, and all you want to do is PvP. Get this faction maxed out and 2 other ones, and you will be a pirate legend. So it's kind of cool as they add all new cosmetics and all new things to the Sea Dogs. And this ties directly with all the new ship combat coming to the game, with the more brutal ship damage. We already saw some of this from the Cursed Cannonball update that came out a while ago, but this new ship damage elevates the urgency you might have when repairing your ship. Let's say someone shoots your ship and makes a regular size hole. No problem, you usually can ignore it for a second to fight them. Well, if they hit the same spot, the hole will grow larger and bring far more water into your ship. They also added masts falling down if you're shot 3 times on the same mast. Not to mention the anchor can be damaged, which has a chance to lower your anchor and of course make it harder to raise it. And the last but not least, you can damage the wheel of the ship, which will be blown to pieces and make it that much harder to steer your ship. Adding this to the open world is amazing and could prove difficult for some, but tie this into the arena and you could have one very challenging mode where only the truly good players could take advantage of something so cool and cause havoc on other ships. Next up is the harpooning, which if you've played Sea of Thieves recently, you saw at the front of your ship a part of the railings for the ship were missing. These gaps were made for the inclusion of harpoons, which could be one of the most exciting things this game has ever had. Each ship will have 2 harpoons, each facing different sides. They work just like the cannons aim and fire, but instead of damaging a ship, you will be attaching to whatever you shoot at. If you shoot the harpoon at a ship, it will start to bring the ships closer together. You harpoon a megalodon, and you'll be dragged along for the ride. You can even harpoon supply barrels on the sea to grab them quickly and loot them on your ship. And also harpoon rocks to make sharper turns. But the best part for me is harpooning other players to your ship and utterly destroying them. The amount of things you can do with this are endless. Just have your imagination run wild, everyone, because that's what I'm going to do with this. Now, the next couple of categories are completely new mechanics that a lot of people might not know about. First up is cooking and different food types. Don't get me wrong, eating bananas with the peels is always part of a healthy diet that we all love as pirates. But sometimes you want something different, and Rare is giving you all types of new things to eat. You'll be able to eat pigs, chickens, snake, shark, megalodon, and kraken meat, all along with pineapples, mangoes, and coconuts. Each food type will give different amounts of health, so now bananas won't be everything. Which brings me to the meats which you will have to cook. If you cook the food well and consume it, the food will give you a health regeneration buff that's completely new to the Sea of Thieves. So before combat, it will be wise to cook something and consume it so you have health regeneration that can give you an edge over the competition. Tie this all in with a new faction called the Hunter's Call, which is all about food, cooking, and fishing. That's right, you heard me, fishing. Probably the most asked about feature in Sea of Thieves is finally making it to the game. You'll finally be able to fish as you sail the Sea of Thieves. You'll have a fishing rod and you'll be able to put bait on the end of the cast and then start fishing for different types of fish. There will be dozens of fish to catch, which I'm sure will be recorded somehow in the game. And any fish you catch can be cooked and eaten for health benefits, as I just mentioned, or it can be turned into the Hunter's Call faction to earn reputation and gold. Either way, it's pretty awesome. So to wrap this all up, if you've put off playing Sea of Thieves the last year, I truly recommend you try it again. There's so much more to the game now, especially after the multiple updates they've brought into the game over the last year. And this update truly does show how much the game has been supported by Rare and Xbox. And with this new update the game is receiving on April 30th, it will change the game to be something completely different. It's almost a completely new game, people. Some might say it's the game it should have been when they launched, and I understand that argument. But you can't deny the amazing changes the game is going through, and I'm personally excited to see what different adventures this new update will give me and my friends. But let me know what you guys think about this update. Go down below and let's have a discussion. Does this update encourage you to play the game again? Was this what you expected from the game when it first launched? What new aspect of the game are you looking forward to the most? Is it a little too late for you to jump back in? Go down below and let me know. I can't wait to talk about the game with everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. Any support helps the channel out more than you know. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my videos. Also follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. If you want to hang out and chat with me, I'm very active with my chat and always playing games. I'll hope to see you guys there. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.